So
Yeah,
after some
no,
technical difficulties, we're back. Hey, how's it going?
okay. So yeah,
Yeah, so
no,
tell
I'm just
us
gonna.
what did you pull up? What's the article you pulled up?
Oh no, so getting into the second part of the Bristol-Myers Squibb. Yeah. Well, as you know, well, everybody at home, but we're shooting in this in two parts. So two interesting things just happened actually, literally as I was sitting here with Bristol-Myers Squibb stock.
Hmm.
As of last night, originally, I would have said and told you that the 52-week low was 58.86. But as
Okay,
we sit
okay.
here, we saw a new 52-week low of 58.33. Then another interesting thing happened while that was happening. Bazinga put out on my brokerage. So I'm sure it's probably this article's on multiple brokerages. You
Hmm.
can find it. We'll probably put a link in this description. Bazinga today, 49 minutes ago, today, Monday, September 28th. Bristol-Myers Squibb, New York Stock Exchange, ticker symbol BMY, short
Okay.
percentage of float has fallen 17.97% since the last report. The company recently reported that it has 43.76 million shares sold short, which is 2.1% of all regular shares that are available for trading. Based on its trading volume, which its trading volume is, I actually have that number. Where
200
is
no, sorry.
it?
Two
The
million?
three,
Two
it has a
2.4?
3 month, the 3 month,
Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about.
it has a, that's what I'm looking for. It has a 3 month trading average. Every stock has it. Um, I think it's like 2 million. So the short shares equal to the average amount of shares traded per day. So based off of that, it would take traders 4.46 days to cover their short positions on average. And then it goes into why short interest matters and what short selling is. And then here, maybe we can have that for later. It has a so we have I have a chart here. Maybe I can send it to you. It says it has a short interest graph, 3 months, and it had last week over just over 50 million shares sold short, and we are new at our 52-week low as of about 10
Wait,
minutes
you
ago
said
this
50
morning.
million?
50, yeah, about 3 weeks ago, it had just over 50 million shares sold short. Now, apparently, what's being reported is somewhere around 2.5 million, which is the daily average of shares traded per day,
So
which
the
isn't
daily
technically
average,
super high.
okay.
Hmm.
So it's like an average amount of short interest and short shares. It's like
Yeah,
average. So basically they're saying Bristol Myers Squibb's fall to its 52-week low is not necessarily an indicator of being shorted.
yeah. Well, it was just shorted to death last month.
Okay.
It had like it had like 20% short interest on it, which is pretty high.
That's
And
interesting
I think
because
that's
that
one of
was
the
also the
reasons.
month where it got FDA approved, right, for its new drug. So in the
Yeah,
same day, in the same month of its catalyst, it's the same month where it was extremely shorted. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Just the confirmation. Okay.
yeah, yeah. But I think what a lot of people do, a lot of traders do, and especially institutions, is they'll buy shares and they'll short it, or they'll lend the shares out to be shorted, and then when it gets to that price that they want, instead of closing their positions, they just cover their positions and they keep the shares so they can get it at a cheaper price instead of just buying the common stock and being like, "This is my position," or just simply waiting and hoping it goes down.
Okay.
I know some people, just because you short a stock doesn't necessarily mean like you think it's like a crappy stock or a crappy company. I mean,
Mhm.
a lot of the time it does, but I know some people in some institutions they'll do that. They'll be like, all right, let's see if we can get it at a cheaper price. They want to get it at Bristol-Myers Squibb at $58 instead of 75 bucks.
Today it opened at 59.04 according to Yahoo Finance.
Yep.
Oh, and now currently trading at 58.65. You know,
Yep.
it could also just be like an overall indicator of um I don't know if I mentioned this last, but overall indicator of where the economy is, you know.
Yeah, the whole market's down. Yeah, on my what I'm looking at right now, like my watch list right now, the only thing that's really up is Apple at literally
Of course.
1.07%. Everything else is down, like Tesla's down like 3% right now, which 3% doesn't sound like a lot of money, but 3% on a company that has a $600 billion market cap is a lot of money.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
like $19 billion. But so yeah, getting more into Bristol-Myers Squibb stock, as you know, and everyone at home knows, we're literally at the 52-week low as we speak.
Hmm.
The 52-week high is 81.44. So we're roughly what 23 and change ish
Yeah.
from the 52-week high.
Yeah. And
Um,
I can see that all the performance short, mid, and long are all bearish, but it's considered undervalued. I mean, that just means
oh,
it's a buy. I don't understand when they make these forecasts, but
so
if it's
um,
undervalued, it's a buy, right?
yeah, it's definitely undervalued. I just think that a lot of institutions, when they look at the numbers, they don't like what they see. But biopharma stocks are kind of really similar to tech stocks in the sense of they burn a lot of money, and what investors usually like to see is net cash flow. Like, oh, the
Hmm.
company has tons of net cash flow, it's healthy. All right, cool, that's attractive to investors. But if you go into, which I was going to get into later, if you go into some of Bristol Myers like recent numbers, they're not the greatest because they've been expanding so much, like we
Yeah.
said it earlier in the video, because they're burning money because they're trying to get extra medications and drugs in the pipeline. They're researching on multiple other ones. They're trying to get multiple other things, medications approved. They're opening multiple other laboratories and offices. So they're spending money because they're growing.
Yeah.
But
Makes
I
sense.
don't know. I guess I don't know. That's just me. That's what I see.
I think it's just an excuse to short then. It's just like, all right, let's just short it so we can make some money. And let's artificially make trouble so we can ride the wave up.
But
And you know what? That's how the market's been working. So
yeah,
I would have some
yeah,
if I
we're in
had
a
some cash, I would throw a little bit in.
yeah, I mean we're in a bear market right now. So some other things about the stock is other than the actual price itself, the free float, it's really big. It's 2.09 billion. So it
Hmm.
has available to trade is just over 2 billion shares. The free float market cap, so the market cap of all the shares combined with the price, is equal to 123, just over 123 billion as we speak. Um, Pretty healthy. That's considered a large cap stock. Usually anything over like 20 to like 30 to 40 is considered mid. Anything under like 10 is considered like small. And then once you get into like the lower millions, you're a micro cap and small cap. So it's considered a large cap stock. Um, they do pay a dividend. I don't know if you saw the
I
dividend is
do.
2.280, and the dividend
Yeah.
yield percentage is 3.86%. So this is considered undervalued by multiple analysts and Yahoo
Yeah.
Finance.
That's more than pre-pandemic savings accounts. So
Yeah, exactly. This is considered undervalued by about 20 to 25%, and they have a dividend yield of 3.86%. So I mean, you could easily make 20. I mean, let's not say easily, it's the market, but based off of what we see and based off of like
yeah.
everything, this should be an easy 25 30% gain on what is a conservative And in my opinion, a conservative investment, which a conservative investment is usually only like 10 to 12%. In my opinion, this is an easy 20 to 30% with a dividend.
Yeah. I mean, from where I'm looking, the writing's kind of on the wall.
And
Undervalued, 72-year target estimate, 3.86% dividend yield. I don't know.
another thing I noticed too, I don't know if you look at it or anybody really pays attention to it at home, but one of the big things with stocks is the PE ratio.
Hmm.
And um, sometimes I pay attention to those, sometimes I don't. Depends on the stock. If it's a hype stock, I don't pay attention to those. If it's a tech stock, I don't pay attention to those. Every other stock, I pay
Okay.
attention to them
Let me
because
take a
everything
swig every time you say
else,
that. Pay attention.
every because
Pay
everything else is
attention.
kind of like everything else is probably going to have some like ridiculous P ratio because people just throw money at it. They're like, oh, GME, AMC, or like Tesla and Apple, money, just money. And so they have super high PE ratios. But like a company like, for example, Bristol-Myers Squibb, Coca-Cola, National Grid, I'm going to take a look at the PE ratio. The PE ratio here, so if anybody doesn't know what PE ratio as at home is, maybe it's just the price per earnings. Right now is so it's basically how much you have to spend technically to make $1 per share. So technically, you would have to spend or invest $15 in this. Now, a PE ratio of 15 is considered solid, is decent. Um, Anything over 20 is starting to get high. 15 is pretty decent. Anything I'd say under like 12 is good, like the low teens and like around there. Anything under that is like super undervalued. So there are two PE ratios. There's the TTM, the trailing 12 months. So like the last 4 quarters, the
Oh,
last
you said
12
the
months.
TTM, the TTM.
Yeah, trailing 12 months. Now, then you have a second PE ratio, which
Hmm.
you have to take this one with a big grain of salt because as we all know, this investing is all speculative. Uh, PE ratio FWD forward. It's basically what the expected earnings are. So if you notice a drop from the TTM to the FWD, that's a really good positive sign at its current price that analysts and institutions um, are betting that this Bristol-Myers Squibb is going to be uh, or is very, very undervalued and or are going to have a really good earnings report in their next earnings. So that is almost half. Right now we have 15.71 trailing 12 months, so over the last 4 quarters. Uh, but the PE ratio on the expected earnings moving forward is 7.95, which is literally a little more than half. So um, now, there's one more other thing I wanted to point out. Sorry, I'm doing most of the talking
Yeah,
here.
that's fine. Go ahead.
Um, the analyst's price target, again, you got to take these with grains of salt, but they are analysts. They are the
Yeah.
professionals. Especially on a stock like this, I would probably, personally, I would probably take a look more at the analyst stocks. Like I said, like more like the blue chip, more boring companies. Again, this isn't really boring to me. I like Bristol-Myers Squibb. This shit interests me. So, but other than that, I really wouldn't care so much. Analysts put ridiculous price targets on things, but their price targets here uh, is we have an average analyst price target is saying $72.
Yeah. I'm looking and it says related research reports. A lot of them are listed as neutral.
Yeah,
But I always feel weird about analysts because they always, in my mind or in my opinion, they always have some sort of, agenda. I don't feel like you can analyze a stock. I mean, you can, but faithful to integrity without having with while being an interested party in what happens to the number of the stock. So I don't
Yeah,
know
that's why I,
that.
I really only look at analyst stock price targets in companies like this, or like a 3M or a Johnson and Johnson, Coca-Cola. I don't look at analyst price targets of like, I don't know.
Well, your
Has,
analyst price targets you're talking about for blue chip stocks because they're more steady stocks. That is that why you're saying you can trust them a little bit more, in your opinion?
yeah, and more like of like the more quote unquote, as I've been using, boring stocks, not like the exciting like, oh, Teslas and Apples and the Palantir. I'm not looking at P ratios, especially on tech stocks, because those has ridiculous. Like Nvidia and AMD, they probably have like P ratios until like the hundreds.
Mm,
I don't like, uh,
yeah.
but this, I don't know. Again, I mean, I agree with you, but yeah, like for the average right now, their analyst price target is $72, which its current price is a 23% gain. They're
Yeah, it
saying on the
says.
high,
Yep, go ahead.
uh-huh.
I think I'm looking at the same thing.
Yeah, you see the high end, the max,
90?
yeah,
Is that what
90.
you're saying? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 53.74% from the current price of 58.50, which is being traded right now, the time of this recording. Um,
I mean, it's
and
considered a buy, right? I mean, on the other
oh
end,
yeah,
it said, the other side, it said it was bearish, but recommended rating on Yahoo Finance 2.4, a buy, close to a hold, but still, or maybe it's like considered a low buy, high hold. But I don't know. I think it's a buy.
yeah,
I think just
it has a
average in.
strong buy 19%, buy 30%, hold 44%, and then apparently 7% think it's underperformer based off of the 27 analysts. So 49% believe it's a buy to strong buy. And then almost the other half is basically like, yeah, hold. I mean, this is a buy for me. Like I said, maybe cost average in. I wouldn't go like balls to the wall. Like I wouldn't take 10 grand and throw it in right now. But if you had, for example, 10 grand, maybe I'd buy, like, I'd make a few buys. But because here they have this could drop potentially, in their opinion, analysts' opinion, this could drop another 6% to $55.
Mhm.
But last week that number was also at like 57, so it's dropped $2. So, but this is 52-week lows. I'm not sure what the stock's all-time low is, but we are at its 52-week low. So out of
Yeah.
the last 52 weeks, we're at the bottom.
Right. If it
Um,
tapped it already, it probably could tap it again before going up. I would have to look more in depth at the
yeah,
chart.
at the chart, yeah, exactly. You'd have to see if it was a double bottom. Um,
Yep,
let's
here we
take a look
go.
at the chart.
Yep, 59. Um,
Did a double bottom?
it taps a bottom and then, it looks like lower lows right now.
Yeah, there are lower lows because there was a rip. If you go back into the chart from like this current price as we sit to like
In
70,
2001, it looked like in November, it hit around 53. So,
53. So we could be close to all-time lows. So
and
this
then,
company's not going anywhere. It's expanding. It's just sometimes that happens with stocks. But hey, this is a great buy in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can consider it pre-pandemic, but 2019,
Yeah, I mean it's like when I found
it hit
Croc.
$42. Hit $42 in July.
What, pre-pandemic
Yeah,
or
pre-pandemic
pandemic?
2019. Up for
Oh,
debate, but yeah, 42.77 in July 2019. So it
hmm,
looks like it's been the lowest in the last few years, or if not its all-time low. But yeah, I mean,
yeah. For me, this is like a $75 stock all day.
Maybe they think it could tap at 53 because, like I said, in 2001, it hit 53.63. So, I mean, it's not far off, but I think if it were to hit,
363.
I think if it were to hit that, it would rebound because it just doesn't make sense for really what it with its FDA approval and its aggressive like research right now. It
Oh
looks like
yeah,
it,
and it's opening multiple locations and
yeah.
like
So
office buildings and
I would say if
yeah,
we're in a buy phase and if it goes lower, then you're in a serious buy phase. Just my personal opinion, not financial advice, but
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it's like when I found Crocs and I was like, wait, Crocs is $48. What? And then
I
six
remember
months
when you
later,
said that to me, and I was like, Crocs of all shoes, and now I can't go anywhere without seeing children
and
in
now how
Crocs
much?
mostly.
And how much is now a Croc stock? Probably at least 85, $90, and it was well over 100. Let's see. It's
The shoe that
trading. Oh,
started
I'm
off as
sorry.
a
It's
nursing
trading
shoe, and now everybody
80,
has it.
88.69 currently. It was trading at $130 in July.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was trading 100, and if you go back further, it was trading like 150 in April.
I don't
So
know how people
roughly,
sit with these ring lights in front of them because it's burning my irises.
so
I might start
roughly
crying, but I'm not sad.
6 months later, after that, it was trading for $150. So let's see, Bristol-Myers Squibb in 6 months gonna be over $80 again. Like Crocs was at and ran
Six
$100 a
months.
share.
I don't know. Okay, let's see. It's getting close to the end. It's pretty much towards the end of 2023. They projected that the market, many people projected the market would rebound in mid 2024 and mid to end 2024.
Yeah.
So
So that
I
would
I
put
would
us
say
what,
I would say highs maybe in about 7 or 8 months, in my opinion, maybe. But just
spring.
based off of that, yeah, just based off of like prior analysis of the overall market.
Mm,
So maybe like 7 or 8 months. But I mean 6 months
yeah.
is a good median there too.
I don't see us in a bull market until end
Beginning
of
of 2025.
2024. Yeah, yeah, maybe the beginning actually. Yeah, I should take that back. I'd say summer fall 2025.
Summer, fall. Oh, okay.
So basically, as we speak right now, in 2 years, things are gonna be like, load up,
Um,
not financial advice.
that would be about what? So how long would that'd be like an average of what, 2.5 year bear market? 2.5 to 3 year
Yeah,
bear
I'm not
market at
sure.
this
I'm
point.
not sure. Yeah,
That's what it seems like. Hey, we don't know what's gonna happen. They got all this stuff with BRICS, and
I'm
then
not
they're
sure.
saying people think that BRICS is gonna take over, but then people are like China's economy, and I'm like, who really knows what's going on with China's economy other than the US, other than like higher governments, because the numbers that are being released to us are questionable.
Hmm.
I am
Is that when
oh
Bristol Myers was 63 or 4? 64.
we gotta talk about XRP because eventually we gotta talk about XRP.
Oh. So,
I need to talk about that.
oh, let's finish up the video.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're done, right? That's
Yeah.
Bristol-Myers Squibb. Anything else you would like to add?
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's if we get, oh no, we didn't even get into the numbers.
Oh, tell me about the numbers.
The numbers, the actual, I mean, we talked about like the stock itself, but we didn't talk about like the company's
Oh,
numbers.
okay.
So right now, well, let's get to Bristol Myers. Okay. By the way, I just saw Crocs earnings report. They're killing
Oh my God. How is this possible? It's so wild to me. I'll never forget when I first saw Crocs, like when they first came out as a nursing shoe. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting looking shoe. And they were like,
it.
it's really, really comfortable. It's like, wow, I'm glad that they're doing things for nurses. And now they're doing things for everybody. I don't, that's so interesting. I do not own a pair of
But
Crocs, but I feel like everybody else does.
so the real quick, just to wrap up the video, we're gonna just take a look at their numbers,
Hmm.
some of what the company's doing, financials real quick, and
Come
wrap
on,
up the
sir.
video.
Come on,
So the
sir.
EP, wow,
Yeah.
EPS again, we have trailing 12 months is
Okay.
376. Earnings per share is 376. As we speak for the last quarter, it's down significantly. EPS is at earnings per share 103. Um, Here, we're going to go into, like I said, I don't know if you can see this with me, the company's financials. If you go into company section, here you have the actual and then the estimate. So last quarter, 2023, they didn't um, even meet earnings. They were under earnings. Um, Quarter three, 2023, they haven't released it yet.
Hmm.
I'm not sure when their next earnings report. It's supposed to be actually October 26th. So in about a month, they're gonna have their quarter three. No, I'm sorry, forgive me. Their quarter, yes, their quarter three report in October 2023. So look for that as earnings. We are almost at all-time lows. We're at 52-week low. The next key indicator is a return on asset. The last two quarters, they've killed it. Well, their assets have. Quarter one, up 97%. Return on asset is 2.37% for the quarter, and for the year, 97.5%. And then last quarter report
It's
was
pretty good.
2.21% for the quarter, and on for the year, 57.86%.
Well, I
Um,
mean,
mhm.
they're doing well.
Yeah. Um, yeah, for the most part, yeah, they're doing pretty solid. Um, most of their earnings are green. If you go back at least the last 5 quarters, here, for example, they have the income statement. Their income for 2023 of quarter three of 2022 was positive 1.61%, 1.6 billion was their income, their net income up 3.6%. They had a negative to end 2024. But here in 2023 so far, quarter one and two, they are up 76. And then the last quarter, quarter two of 2023, they're up 45% at 2.08 billion. So you have a net income of 2.08 billion. Um, your return on assets, you got 57% on the year. Their balance sheet is another important thing to look at. Their liabilities of quarter two in 2022, comparing the last 5 quarters, they had 167 billion in liabilities. So their liabilities have dropped off 6 billion over the last 5 quarters, but their assets have gone from 100 billion to 93.5 billion.
Okay.
So their assets are down about 6.5 billion, but so are their liabilities. So it's kind of broken even, but their
Yeah.
liabilities have dropped off. So I guess that's good. I mean, even though that they lost 6.5 billion in assets, they lost an extra 600 million in liabilities. So it kind of slightly equals itself out. The only
Yeah.
negative thing I'm seeing here is, like I mentioned earlier in the video, their cash flow, which a lot of investors are like what's his name? The guy in Shark Tank, Kevin. What's his name? He always mentions cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Um, is it
Kevin
McCarthy?
O'Leary.
O'Leary. I always say McCarthy. Kevin O'Leary. It's an Irish name. Kevin O'Leary. Yeah, he's always like cash flow, cash flow. You have to be cash
Yeah.
flow positive. But these people are burning a lot of money. They have like dozens of drugs in the pipeline, FDA approved. They're growing, they're building. They don't have much
Yeah.
cash flow. They're cash flow negative for the last 5 quarters.
Wow.
But
That
they
could
have
be
95.
that could be the where the wariness is coming
Yeah,
from.
yeah. The institutions aren't too fond of negative cash flow. But
Yeah. They say
as somebody,
some
but
people
if you're
don't want to
looking at,
invest in potential.
yeah, exactly. Some of the institutions they just invest off of the numbers. And then some people invest off of the potential future. Like, oh, could this be the company that cures diabetes? Could this be the company that cures multiple sclerosis or cancer or of some sort? Or, and boom,
Yeah.
next thing you know, this is $1 trillion company and the stock's trading at $500 a share.
Yeah.
So it's all speculative, but the numbers are the numbers, and it's not looking too great right now, cash flow wise. And if you're looking at the stock price, you might be a little nervous to invest. But in my opinion, as someone who, you know, be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy, I would invest into Bristol-Myers Squibb. It's not some Joe Schmo company. It's
Yeah. Not
Bristol-Myers Squibb.
financial advice though, but yes, I
Yeah, not
agree.
financial advice. I'm just saying, in my opinion, $125 billion company that's opening and working with other companies like Pfizer and other pharmaceutical companies in South Korea. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon.
Mm.
Let's just hope for a positive net cash flow statement, and we might see a 80, 90, $100 Bristol Myers Squibb.
I think they're waiting to see some real positive inflow in 2024.
Hmm.
So just based off of what their movements that we spoke about before with, the manufacturing and doubling down on research, and research takes time. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking that we're going to really see maybe more. They're hoping for more positive inflow like 2024, 2025. So it's like a
yeah.
long-term play here.
They're
But
the PE ratio actually dropped from Friday to Monday. They updated the numbers. They actually have dropped slightly since I wrote them down. The PETTM was 15.71. It's 15.56. The FWD, the forward, has dropped from 7.95 to 7.88. Not much, but it's dropped in literally one trading day.
okay. Well,
So,
Bristol-Myers Squibb
Mr. Myers Squibb, hey,
doing their thing.
let's see if it can get to 80. I think it
Yeah.
will. This is
Well,
an
thanks.
$80 stock all day,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
We should close up here.
But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We hope we didn't ramble too much, especially me. I like to ramble.
Rambling John.
Well,
It's all
thanks
right.
for tuning in.
We appreciate your hard work. I appreciate your hard work, your efforts.
Bristol Myers Squibb. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a stock nerd. Sometimes I get angry and I rage text you like, "Screw the market!" And then
Yeah.
a few days later, I'm like, dividends and P ratios.
Yeah.
Because I'm angry
So
because I'm like, I'm trying to make money here. You're screwing me.
yeah. It's like
All
that
right. Well,
sometimes.
for everyone at home, thanks for watching. Again, thanks for tuning in. If you could
Yeah.
share, and subscribe, that would be great. If not,
Stay
that's fine
lovely.
too.
Stay
Stay safe
stay cool. Stay safe
and have
and
a good morning, a good
have a good
afternoon,
one.
and a great night.
Later.
See you in the next one. Or they were both lies, because clearly we're not as technically advanced as we like to think. Because the internet is still a problem, but we went to the moon 54 years ago.
I think it's really just that your technology is outdated.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Bow, 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 bow.
All right. No, literally, if internet is a problem in 2023, you're telling me people went on the moon in 1969 when they didn't even have when they still had roll-up windows in cars for 25 more, 30 more years, but we went to the moon.
Okay, let's get ready to rumble. This
Lost.
Bristol-Myers Squibb style. I mean, you know, some people believe that certain levels of technology are only reserved for the government and they incrementally release it to the public. And so, therefore, we would still have
It
crank
took them
windows like we
30
can get
more
onto the
years
moon.
to create electric windows. Where are you today? New Orleans?
I've got a camera on my desk here, so I'm
Is that
out living
the
my
Fuji
best
film?
life, I guess.
Is that behind you?
That's I hand wash my clothes and dry them right behind my desk. See, that's a little towel that I hand washed, and that's my ladder that I dry it on, conveniently behind my desk.
My name is Ramon Salazar. I am from Malaga, Spain.
I wish I was in Spain, maybe.
Maybe.
30 more years for them to
We
create
went
it, or
to
30
the
more years for
moon.
them to allow us to use it?
They
Which
were
one
like,
is
all right,
it?
guys, we're going to tell the public and show them we went to the top of the moon. But we're going to slowly release over 3 decades electric windows.
Okay.
Doesn't it seem like complete bullshit when you really think about it?
That's my step stool that I use for nothing since there's nothing I need to reach over there. But,
It's fair.
just for looks. I mean, that's consumerism, right? That's big. It's big papa capitalism, right? And there's my plant. Um, I call him George because I don't know. That's the first name that came to my head. And
Oh, I
then
bet.
this table, I got it from
Mhm.
IKEA.
Okay. All right, and that's that. Great episode. Talk to you next time.
I know. Have a nice night. Uh, another one in the books. Uh, cherries on top of ice cream scoops, and have a great evening.
And sell the drugs because nothing else works.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna leave that to the pharmaceutical companies. They only get away with it legally.
See? There you go. It ties in
Right
drugs.
in a slip and slide intro into the mysteries of the FDA. Bristol Myers Squibb.
Mysteries.